Welcome everyone. My name is Vanzana Atar Ora, and I am the creator of Vanzana Light Healing and Galactic Light Healing. This is my new show. It's called the New Earth Ascension Show, and I am honored to be sponsored by the New Earth One Network. It's a beautiful community of light workers all over the globe. So our show theme, our mission, is really all about empowering everyone, inspiring everyone, and really introducing these amazing, gifted light workers who are not that well known on the planet globally, who just have something really important to say. They have important, meaningful messages for all of humanity. And these are the people that I am excited to introduce you to. These are groups of my friends who are exceptional healers, sound healers in this case today, teachers, writers, heart awakeners, paradigm shifters, people who really are gifted in bringing in the light and helping people to ground the new earth energies in an easier way that doesn't take so much effort or struggle, and helping people to align to these new energies. So this is the New Earth Ascension show. This is the mission, to give all of these beautiful, gifted people in this community a voice to share their gifts, so that even more people can see them, witness them, and really receive their beauty and their wisdom and their contribution to the planet. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my very special guest today. This is Matthew, and Matthew Kocel is an amazing emerging leader in the world sound healing movement. I actually know Matthew. I've worked with him before. He is an amazing, beautiful soul, and I'm really happy to introduce everyone to you. So Matthew, say hi.
Hello.
Yay.
Thank you for having me, Vandana. I appreciate it and honored to be here.
And I'm honored, and we are all honored to welcome you on the New Earth Ascension Show. So Matthew, let me tell you a little about him. He is a throat singer, beautiful throat singer. I've actually studied under his graces, teachings of overtoning and throat singing. Took an all-day workshop with him when Matthew was visiting us in New York City. Matthew does live in Vancouver in BC, British Columbia. And that was one of the highlights of my life, Matthew, because I've been a singer all my life. So thank you for that. I just wanted to thank you for allowing it to be an easy, not as scary as I thought experience, throat singing and all the exercises that you took us through. So what a gift that was. So let's see about Matthew, more about him. He's a multi-instrumentalist and a recording artist, and he's on a mission to inspire peace through the universal language, universal light language of music and sound. You know, the vibrational language of light, the living essence of light. And sometimes the human language cannot fully express the heart of the jeweled heart, the blessings that can only emanate through us onto this new earth in this way, through vibrational toning, sounds, and healing. So this is the language of light, and it really lifts you up to these very beautiful, harmonious, healing frequencies that only sound can, without getting in our minds, but really coming from our heart space and telepathically communicating with each other in this way, in the original language, which is of light. So As I mentioned before, Matthew is based in Vancouver, BC. He's performed for audiences in Canada, across the US, France, Belgium, and in ancient temples in Peru. Beautiful. Wish I was there to hear that. So Matthew's third album is entitled Song of the Ancients, which is scheduled for release this fall. And he is known as a cosmic throat singer. I love that. Matthew is a committee member of the Global Wellness Institute Sound Healing Initiative. So, Matthew, thank you for being with us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
I know that you have, like, you are so gifted, and I'd love for you to speak about how you actually arrived to this divine sacred destination that you so gracefully embody now. What was your journey like that led you to you really authentically and comfortably just being yourself and sharing your gifts as a musician, as a creative soul? What was your journey like? If you can kind of give us a little glimpse into your timeline and what led you, you know, what were the events that led you to the place that you embody today?
Thank you. Well, what was it like? It's been a long, strange trip, I have to say. Growing up as a child, I was enamored with music, and I had a pretty middle of the road American family. In some respects, we were middle class. My father was an officer in the U.S. Air Force and World War II veteran, and so we moved around a lot. But we went to church every Sunday, and I always had a belief in a higher power or God, as they use that term. And in my pre-teens, probably when I was about 12 years old, I had an experience where my crown chakra opened at one of these church events, and I had no frame of reference for what had happened to me. I'd never felt energy like this before. I didn't know what a chakra was, and as along with my spiritual longing, I have to say I was quite disenfranchised and alienated from all the authority figures in my life, starting with my nuclear family, who I now love wholeheartedly, but childhood was really lucky to have survived it. And so anyway, I had this experience and nothing to relate it to, and it was absolutely profound. So it was a glimpse into a greater reality beyond the veil. Well, I wasn't able to hold that vibration because of I had a questioning mind, and I was questioning the interpretations of the scriptures that were being presented to me and the dogma presented through the church. It just wasn't working for me, and I was quite angry at my family. We would go to church on Sunday and come home and fight, and it was just so music is what got me through this darkness and turbulent times of my teen years. Music gave me a lifeline, to a higher reality. And there were some groups that I was a rocker, but some of the groups that I listened to really took me to a higher plane. Like, for example, Yes, that was one group that really brought me to a higher dimension. In other respects, like Pink Floyd and along those lineages. So I kept playing different instruments growing up, and I gravitated towards guitar and singing because I loved to just share music, and that was the easiest way to do it. So studied in university for 2 years as a music major, and I think one of the touchstones is Jimi Hendrix and a crystal I would find on a mountaintop many years later.
Please share this story. I know that Matthew shares this really meaningful story in his performances and his sacred sound healing concerts and ceremonies. So I would love it if you could share this story with everyone who's listening now or who'll be listening to the replay in the future.
Absolutely. Well, in my second year of university, I was commuting to school about an hour away from home. I had moved back in with my parents because my father was in the process of dying from cancer. And at that time, I was very much inspired by Jimi Hendrix. And I was reading his biography. It's a book called Voodoo Child of the Aquarian Age. And I was commuting to school with a friend who was also a bandmate. And um, he was driving. So I pulled out the book and started reading. And all of a sudden, I was reading lyrics to a song I had never heard before. And I didn't notice that my friend had put a tape in the deck. And suddenly, as I'm reading these lyrics, Jimi Hendrix was singing the very lyrics that I was reading in perfect timing. It could not have been more perfectly timed. He was like reading what was
Wow.
happening in my head. Yeah, that's what I said. Wow. So, big wow.
That's pretty
And
trippy.
yeah. So I like had to stop. I'm like, okay, Jimmy, God, universe, whatever, whoever's talking to me, I hear you. And I at that point just decided, okay, I'm in, whatever it takes, I will do this. And I thought that meant I was going to be a rock star. So, after that year passed, I quit university and moved to the nearest big city, which in my case was Denver, Colorado, to join a rock band. And suddenly there I was playing in nightclubs, making a meager living as a professional musician. And, it was kind of a thrill at first and had some fun. But, originally we were playing other people's music, and that seemed to be a dead end. So after a couple of years of kind of floundering in that circuit, I decided, well, I'm just going to do original music, and teamed up with one of my former bandmates, and who I had a good songwriting relationship with, and we formed our own act and tried to hit the big time from Denver, which we're talking mid 80s, early to mid 80s. So not happening, this is way before the internet. And, I don't know if Denver will ever be a musical hub. So in those days, you needed a major record label contract if you're going to be heard and outside of your hometown. And so that didn't happen, but I kept trying and trying and trying, and got to have some fantastic moments of transcendent music, and got to experience the magic, but it was always fleeting, and the projects kept breaking up, and I would put all this effort into it, and then pour my heart into it, and then it would break up again and again and again. And along the way, I started to realize, well, I'm collaborating with these guys, these talented musicians, some of whom had some real serious dysfunction. And I was never in control of where, my partners were at. And so I started to see that maybe I'm in a kind of a dead end here. And I started also really yearning for a more spiritual connection, because I didn't have anything to replace what I had thrown out with, like throwing out the baby with the bathwater when I gave up on the organized religion that my family handed to me. I didn't have anything to replace it with besides music. And
Right.
so this was really weighing heavily on me. I was going into depression. And in my late 20s, while I'm going through what in astrology is referred to as the Saturn return, it's common to question your existence. Why am I here? And I wasn't coming up with many good answers. So I was moving into a really dark place. So I guess I needed to hit that rock bottom, because it drove me to finally just start searching for my path. And I didn't know where to turn. So I went to a bookstore, just a run-of-the-mill bookstore in the neighborhood. And I found a book called Inner Power Secrets from Tibet and the Orient. And this is the one that caught my eye and, burned in my hands and shouted at me from the pages as I was opening it up. And through this book, I learned about the chakra system and energy, prana, chi, all the energetic perspective of the human from the Eastern philosophies. And I began to practice some of the techniques and methods in this book, the power of focused breath and meditation and intentional movement. And this was really working for me. So I felt like that was like the first trail marker that I found to find my path. And so meanwhile, I'm still rocking it, playing in these bands, you know, going for it. I was working a lot of really tough day jobs just because I still had that attitude, whatever it takes, because Jimmy sang to me while I was reading his book. And, anyway, by 1994, I had been working in my day job. I was a manager of a burlesque club, this high dollar showroom in Denver. And so I'd been there for 5 years, and I thought I was just going in as a temporary job, and they ended up making me a manager. So
Who would have thought, right? Go figure.
yeah, certainly not me. It's kind of hard to break the news to my mom, but you know.
I'm sure. That must have been an interesting memory there with your mom.
Oh my
Yes.
God, yeah. And
Guess
one of the
what, Mom?
benefits, yeah, one of the benefits of it was out of fear, it really drove me to study martial arts intensely, because there's a danger factor in this job. And looking back now in retrospect, because it just seemed crazy, and I was asking, why am I here of all places? I was actually learning and honing my skill of holding space. And it turned out that there was a lot less violent outbursts that would happen at the club while I was on duty, when I was on shift. And it was I'm sure it was the calming, grounding energy that I was putting out. And I was aware that I was like, okay, I'm just trying to keep this place under, from boiling over. Anyway, by summer of '94, I was realizing, okay, whatever my karmic test was, I'm done with this, and it's time to move on. I need a more spiritually focused life, and I want a more holistic way of living. I have to get out of this club. And so I was exploring martial healing arts. I was very interested in Reiki, and I was doing intro classes to massage and shiatsu and energy work, but I didn't have a plan. Well, the universe did. So and I took my annual vacation in August of '94. I took my girlfriend at the time camping. I'd always go to the mountains whenever I could, being in Colorado. And we climbed a mountain in South Park, the real South Park, Colorado. And we got to the top, and the words just came out of me. I never expected this to happen, but the word just came out of me. I wonder if there's any crystals around here. And the moment I said that, I turned and looked, and this crystal was shining in the sun all by itself. And I went over, and I couldn't even believe what I was seeing, but I went over and I picked it up, and my life changed. In that moment, I felt something shift. I felt like I was being watched, actually. Well, a couple of days later, we're driving back to the city, and I'm holding on to that crystal, and I just was getting depressed thinking about going back into my job. And so I was holding this crystal saying, I've got to get out of there. I can't do this anymore. And sure enough, I showed up for work the following day, and my boss was waiting outside the building with my final check in his hand, and with tears in his eyes, told me he had to let me go because he couldn't afford to pay my salary anymore. And he ended up losing the club. He was slowly going out of business, and I was the first casualty. So great, I was in shock, but I was also on a deeper level happy that I was finally set free. Well, my band at the time was called Critical Mass, and it was like ironically, Critical Mass.
Yeah.
Um, so we were scheduled to go into a recording studio that very evening, um, the same day that I got laid off, and we recorded a demo that week, which I still love to listen to, and the band broke up 2.5 months later. So I find this crystal, and the ground shifted underneath my feet, and the foundations of my existence. My music was my inspiration, and my job was my sustenance. They're both taken away from me, and so at that point, I realized, I was so heartbroken over the band breaking up that I realized I was done with that. I actually gave up music at that point and dove headfirst into healing arts. Went to massage therapy school, got my first Reiki training. I was taking every meditation course I could get close to, and I was just drinking it all in. And so I wasn't playing any music at all. But then within a year, I got an inspiration to start holding meditation circles in my home. And my intention was to hold space where people could connect with the heart, and connect with the heart of Mother Earth, connect with our cosmic source, and utilize that power of group intention and group energy to magnify our prayers for humanity and for healing here on Earth. And miraculously, people started coming to my little meditation group that I was holding in the living room of my bachelor pad in the middle of Denver, Colorado. And they were having extraordinary experiences. And through this practice of leading guided meditations, eventually the words were not big enough to convey the energy that I was perceiving or the states of consciousness that I felt like I wanted to transmit. So Om came out, just the pure transmission of Om. And I was shocked at how deeply people told me they felt that. Just a simple Om. They told me they could feel the energy moving through them and around them, and how much it helped them shift. So this was the opening, the crack in my reality that allowed music to sneak back into my life. And so while I was Oming, I was not only perceiving energy and states of consciousness, but I was also hearing more texture in the voice than I'd ever noticed before. And so I began to explore overtone singing and throat singing. And I had found a recording of Tibetan monks in the same year I found that book, Inner Power Secrets from Tibet and the Orient. And I'd been listening to them for about 10 years. And finally, I was able to reproduce that low, deep overtone sound that the Tibetan monks do. And so that took my toning and vocal explorations to new levels. And again, just everything amplified from there. And eventually the music became the meditation, and the music is the medicine. And the intention is still the same when I'm singing now. It is to help people connect with their heart, connect with the earth, and connect with source, I think. And when we have that feeling experience of this connection, it goes beyond the mental concept that, yeah, everything's connected, it's all vibrating, it's all vibration. We can understand these things conceptually, but when we have the feeling experience, it's a completely different game. And that's what the purpose behind this music, the prayer of my songs behind all of them.
Ooh, yes, music is medicine. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated. It's not heady. It's not something that you have to wrap yourself around. It really unfolds you, and it elevates you, and it expands you at the same time. And now we need music as medicine more than ever before, especially in this COVID pandemic timeline, which we're still in. And as Matthew and I were sharing, we were having a little pre-conversation before the show, that wherever you are in the world, everyone is really having their own unique experience that's perfect for them, for their own divine unfoldment. And whether, you know, this virus, spiritual illness, and the physical manifestation of it is affecting you a lot or a little, music is still the medicine, the vibrational medicine that we all need. And the reason we need it is because it really shifts, like magically, instantly, our vibrations. It lifts us up, but it also grounds us at the same time and expands us, so that we, it kind of refuels us and feeds us on a soul level and on a cellular level, because we know that it also works on our chakras, our nadis, meridians, all of that. What I would love to know is, I know that you're all over the world touring and really successful in all of your endeavors and your recordings. When you work with someone one-on-one, because I know that me as a participant in your concerts, even though it was only, I think, 2 that I've attended, they were so life-changing and transformational for me. And I remember you going around the room and we're all lying down on yoga mats and just feeling just your presence. It's so nurturing, and it's like a very gentle, masculine, paternal, like a fatherly or a godfatherly, I should say, presence. It's so nurturing, and like I see your energy. I felt your energy as like a very healthy masculinity that is supposed to be, is so welcome here on the earth, because it's not just the divine feminine reemergence, it's the healthy masculine and the divine feminine, you know, finding each other again, merging, marrying, coming together in this sacred reunion. So I guess my question, Matthew, is when you're working with people one-on-one, because I think you were just basically playing your singing bowls over us, or maybe you were touching our chakras. I don't remember exactly because I was really like out there. Can you share how you work with people in a session, in case somebody wanted to maybe work with you or experience this nurturing, healing energy on Zoom or maybe in person?
Yeah, well, thank you. Things have changed, obviously, in this COVID era. So previously, most of my private sessions were in person, and I would draw on all of my skills to address whatever the person I'm working with was dealing with. If there are some physical issues, then I've got my hands to work with, and I've developed and obtained a lot of skills to help people find and rebalance pain, the causes of pain in the body, and postural imbalances, things of that nature. And being an energy worker as well, then there's different ways of interacting with the person's energy field, and then I would bring in sound. Now, I may be doing more in-person sessions again. For right now, it's on hold, and we'll just see how things shake out. But I do work with people one-on-one online as well. And it's interesting, you know, while there can't be any physical touch, the energy and intention of the music as it's transmitted, you know, we see each other on the screen, but really there is no time and space. And so this is, I learned through, you know, fundamental Reiki training, how to connect with people energetically beyond time and space. The same works with the sound and the energy that is being transmitted through the sound. So, and I don't work with sound. I do not work very linearly. And in other words, I'm not trying to diagnose where is a, you know, what meridian or what acupuncture point needs what frequency or anything like that. I don't even think that way. I'm really holding space for whoever I'm working with, whether it's a group or one person. And for me, that means being mindful of my own inner connection and including this person with that connection. So I'm connecting to my heart, connecting to my grounding source, the heart of the earth, and opening up to the energy and presence of the cosmos and that creative force that's in all things, holding that awareness and holding the person I'm working with in that awareness along with me. And I feel like the music, it works on so many levels. One of the levels is that it helps me go deeper into my own connection while it's helping the person I'm working with go deeper into their own connection. So our energy fields build on each other. And it's same with a group. It becomes an exponential factoring of expansion and potentizing. That I'm not sure if that's a word. But
well, it is now.
Let's potentize.
Potentize, I love it. Actualize and potentize.
Yeah.
I love it. And of course we know the power of vibrational instruments, sound healing instruments. And I know that you play many, many different sound healing instruments, from the harmonium to full range of singing bowls, Tibetan crystal. I know I think you play guitar. That's how you started, right? When you were in a band. Yeah. And what other instruments? I'm sure lots. So the shruti box. Yeah. I mean, lots of percussion. And so I know that because when I've experienced chakra balancing, clearing, sound healing, like just lying on the floor and actually having a sound healer play the bowls on top of me, where they're actually like striking it and clearing out all my chakras one by one. That was like the most blissful, joyful experience that I think it's indescribable to put that into words. But I also feel that energetically, because I'm a Reiki master for many years too, that even online, even like now, on Zoom or however you connect, even if you were to phone somebody up, and say, okay, I'm going to play for you now, just set the intention together and set up this really safe and sacred space for you to just lie back and get comfortable and receive the healing. That even that is enough, because everything has a different energetic vibrational signature and sound wave. So I feel like the sound waves, the bandwidths of light, will travel exactly where they're meant to travel, with their own intelligence, with their own light, whether it's in person, physically, or on another level of, because we have so many bodies. So so it works, and we don't know why, but we just trust that, that music is medicine. And with that being said, I would love if you could maybe demonstrate for people like what people can experience, just a little taste of your magic, your magical medicine for people. If you feel so guided, maybe take people on a little meditative journey for a couple of minutes so that people can really understand and more like feel this essence, the sound bath, right? And really allow yourself to soak and float, to soak up but float in, and lie back and lean in to receive this transmission now. If you would be able to bestow us with this blessing, I would love to receive it. I know myself, so.
I'd be very happy to, and honored to. So beautiful. I'm just going to change positions here and face this other camera on my laptop. Pull my microphone over here. I have to take these off. Okay, so if you're not already comfortable, please do make yourself comfortable. And Vandana, you'll want to pin the
Yeah, it's pinned.
camera on the other input.
Yep, I have it pinned. I have you pinned.
There. It should be able to feature the other camera, the one that I'm facing.
Is it good? So I have the one that's pinned in the middle. There are two of you. So I have the center one pinned where you're right in front of your harmonium. That's the one that's pinned. Is that good? Okay, great.
Yeah, okay. All right, so sitting or lying down comfortably. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Deep inhale. And sigh it out. Deep inhale again. One more time. And now just relax your breath. And observe the feeling of the air as it moves in and out of your body. Observe that feeling, that sensation. The air entering, you receive, exhale, get back. And thoughts will come and go, it's fine. Just use any distraction for the next few moments. Use any distraction as a reminder to come back to your breath. And if you are able, I recommend see if you can extend your breath by exhaling just a little more completely, inhaling a little more deeply, and see if you can perhaps slow down the pace of your breath. As you slow down your breath, you may begin to feel your heart beating right in the center of your chest. If you can feel that pulse right now coming from inside your chest, bring your attention there. Listen, observe it. Listen to your heart. And if you're not feeling that pulse, it's fine. Just bring your attention to the center of your chest and dive in right there. Just pretend. Remember how to do that. Pretend you could make yourself very small and travel deep inside your own heart. Getting smaller as you go deeper, going deeper, getting smaller. And as you travel within, going deeper, you might feel a shift. It may be subtle. It may feel like a sense of peace or spaciousness, or familiar like home. But this sacred chamber within, this is our starting point, our launch pad today. And from here, from this vantage point, we can reflect on the miracle of our existence. Here we are, spirit in human form, inhabiting these funny yet miraculous bodies for a short time on this amazing planet spinning through space. Amongst all the stars and planets and all creation in the universe. And to that unknowable, unfathomable source of all that is, all that has been, all that will be. Thank you. Thank you for this existence, this life. And as we sit here on Mother Earth, there she is right beneath us. Let's remember that she gave us all the elements of our bodies to use for this short time we are here. Before we have to give it all back. But while we're here, she's providing us with all that sustains us. Our food, medicine, clothing, shelter, our water, this web of life. Thank you, Mother Earth. And while she provides all this for us, she is giving birth to new life in every moment. Thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth. Let us now remember the ancient ancestors of the land on which we sit, wherever you are in this world. Before colonization, there were ancestors on this very land living in harmony with the cycles of nature and the cycles of life. To these ancient wisdom keepers and caretakers of the land, thank you. They carried knowledge, wisdom, and awareness that would be of great benefit to us now in this time. Thank you, ancestors. We'd also like to acknowledge our own ancestors, our own DNA lineage throughout all time. All who lived before us, allowing us to be here now. We walk in your footsteps. Thank you, ancestors. And in this presence, I ask that everyone who is listening in this virtual circle, everyone here may receive a blessing, a gift or healing that is perfect for each one of us in this moment. May we receive this in a safe and grounded way, so we may integrate the gifts, integrate the changes, and adapt to this rapidly evolving world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Matthew, thank you so much. I'm just gonna put you on the other video now while I'm gonna unpin you from this. Thank you so, so much for that. One moment, let's unpin you and pin you. Okay, here we go. This is a new experience for me. Hey, you're back. Wow, and I'm back on planet Earth again. That was quite amazing and interdimensional. I definitely journeyed pretty far out there in the universe and maybe other universes as well. Kind of hard to come back, but I do feel grounded and safe and very cared for and nurtured. So thank you. I hope that the quality of the Zoom video was okay. I know it was, you know, there were a couple of moments that it wasn't perfect, but we only, you know, have this technology at least at this moment. Maybe in the future we'll have it all figured out for sound healing. But that was just beautiful. I mean, the essence was just so sweet and serene. So thank you. What was the name of that track, by the way?
That's called Grace.
Grace, of course it
Yeah.
is.
That's the
Yeah.
name of my last album, and it's
Yes.
also one of the recordings that will be sent out when people sign up to get my 3 days of healing music for free.
Thank you. I was going to ask you about it, but you beat me to it. You're, you know, thank you for offering this very generous free gift. And do you happen to remember the link so people can know what to expect in their inbox when and how do they contact you also? I'd love to know how people will contact you and through your website to get this free gift, or how does that work?
Yeah, they can either go directly to my website, which you have the link for, and
Yes.
the website is omshaman.com,
Yes.
OMSHAMAN, and
Mm-hmm.
the direct link to the free music is 3 days of healing music is matthewmusic.net. So Matthew with 2 T's,
Yes.
MATTHEW music.net.
Yes, and I love your website, Matthew, omshaman.com. And then you also have a YouTube channel that I think would be really cool if you feel, if whoever's meant to listen to it and find this amazing, nurturing, soul healing music, the sounds of sweetness and serenity. It's youtube.com/Matthew Kocel, MATTHEW KOCEL. And then you also have a Facebook group, right? So you have a Facebook page. If it's okay, I'll share it with people.
Yes, please do.
It's facebook.com/Matthew Kocel. And then you have an Instagram as well. So it's just Matthew Kocel, right? And wow, 3 days of healing music that we have to look forward to. What an incredible, generous gift of grace. And I love that that's the name of the album that we were just listening to, the name of the track, Grace. So yeah, what if we could just, embody this essence every day, this safe and sacred sovereign state of grace as our new normal time life, right?
What a wonderful world.
Yeah, what a wonderful world it would be. And we get to co-create it together, and with our focused intention, with our resiliency and our grace, and the courage and the trust and the faith to know that we will get through this together, and that we're all waking up, 7 billion of us, all at the same time globally, galactically on this new earth that we get to rebirth together. And, this is, music is medicine, and there's no doubt about it. So if you want to, whoever's listening, you want to connect with Matthew, please know that he's available also for private sessions, for group work. If you're a venue, if you know someone who has a healing center, please get in touch with Matthew as well through the website, omshaman.com. You can contact him there. If you'd like to hire him for the next, maybe a yoga studio or, any kind of healing venue. I think that you're pretty open to also travel. I know that you went to France and Belgium and Peru. What a profound healing experience. This journey has been so sacred and so special. So thank you for making the time out of your busy day, to be here with us. Wherever you are in the world, just know that, you're not alone, that we're here for you. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, my website is vandanalightshealing.com, where I have a meditation, a chakra balancing, clearing, and harmonizing guided journey 7 days a week for 7 chakras. And when you subscribe to my website, and you'll receive the newsletters, we can also stay in touch and be connected so that, again, you could receive healing wherever you are in the world. And again, that's vandanalightshealing.com. So again, is there anything that you would like to, any guidance, any message that, that you feel that people, that might be helpful for people to hear or to receive at this point?
Well, what comes to mind in this moment is just remember that as all things, this too shall pass. And just remember the practice of becoming still, observing your breath, and listening to your heartbeat. It's the most beautiful mantra in the universe is your own heart. And a beautiful practice that can heal us on many levels just by simply going within and paying attention to the physical heart that will guide us. We will find solace there.
The vibration of the heart and Gaia's heart. You know, we can sink in with hers and align with her harmonic heart, her holy heart.
It's all
and we
in
can
there.
calm her down too, because she's going through these growing pains and this rebirthing process. And we know that the Schumann resonance has magnified and peaked to an all-time high. So we want to also calm, slow down her heartbeat and breathe with her and keep her company and be her caretaker, her provider, you know, give her back what she's given us, you know, the support and the solace that she deserves so that she could do her job and keep us here and you know, not just survive, but to truly thrive and come together again as one. So thank you so much. This has been just a beautiful journey, and I really appreciate you, Matthew. And I pray that we will be together soon in Vancouver, and that it will be safe to travel without a mask, maskless, and that you know, we could all feel safe on the planet again. So we pray for that, and we trust that we will get through this together. And we are all connected, so please stay in touch. And thank you, everyone, whoever is meant to be here. Please share this beautiful musical vibrational medicine with your friends. And thank you for now. Blessings to you, Matthew. Thank you for taking the time to be here. And namaste until we meet again.
Namaste. Thank you.
Blessings. Thank you.